Hello, this is Brett with WIPDeveloper.com. Now that we have a Scratch org, why don't we create a Lightning Web component so we can use it in the Scratch org. With Visual Studio Code open to our Salesforce DX project, open up the command palette with Command-Shift-P, and then we're going to choose SFDX. Create Lightning Web component. It's going to ask what folder to create it in. I'll leave it at the default, which is Force App main default /LWC. Now I need to give it a name, and since this is our first component, I'm going to call it first component. This will create the basics for our Lightning Web component. You can see it's been created in the Force App folder, main folder, default folder, LWC folder, and then there's a subfolder called first component with an HTML file, a JS file, and an XML metadata file. So the first component, we're going to make it real simple. We're just going to make an H1 tag. And we'll make... Now we have a first component that contains only an H1 tag with some small text in it, and we can push this to our Scratch org by using the command palette. Going to SFDX, push source to default Scratch org. And what this is going to do is it will push our component to the default Scratch org. Says it ran successfully. Let's open up our org, add it to a page layout, and see what it looks like. I'm going to go to the service app. Now let's edit the page layout. Here's a list of the standard web Lightning components, but we want our custom Lightning component. It is not showing up in the list, and the reason for that is in the XML file we need to add a targets section and change is exposed to true. It's going to be available on the Lightning app page, a Lightning record page, and a Lightning home page. Let's push this back to our org. Once that is complete, we'll go back here, refresh our list, and then we can see our first component, and we drag it where we want it. I'm going to put it above the quarterly performance. Save and activate, and I'll assign it as the org default. Now if we go back to our page, we can see very barely that it's right here, but we know our component's there. It needs a little bit of styling update, but the first thing we need to do is change okay-ish to awesome. Now if we push this, now when this gets pushed, we can go back to the org and refresh it a couple times, and we see that it now says WIPDeveloper.com is awesome instead of is okay-ish. Next time we'll work on styling the Lightning Web component so that it looks a little bit better in the environment. That's all for right now. Remember to sign up for the weekly stand-up, and you can get updated on any new information we have on WIPDeveloper.com.